All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, greenwoodstocktrading at Gmail. And the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, man. John Jones was said to wanted $30 million to fight Francis Ngannou. All right, by Dana White. John Jones fires back, said that's cap. Don't know who they talking to. Talk about the situation. Check out the MMA playlist. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. And like I said before, it sounds like some boxing crap. All right, but then again, guess what? John Jones is in the UFC. You know, Francis Ngannou is in the UFC. They both talk to Dana White, so Dana White is the judge, the jury, the executioner, and he is the district attorney as well. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, kind of talking about this, check out Line Killer Podcast. You know a little bit about more MMA than I do, but I was just talking about that. If they fight and they make, let's say on the bad they do 1 million people for like what, $100 a pop. That's $100 million they generating, bare minimum. I know some people got the ESPN Plus app, but we kind of, you know, that's a lot of money. But this is what Dana White said on Simmons Podcast. We tried to work with John, and, you know, we eventually have to move on because realistically, in all honesty, Derek Lewis is the guy who deserved the Ngannou fight. So that's the fight. That should happen. We'll just roll and do what we do. And at the end of the day, you'll see John Jones saying that. But, okay, I mean, John Jones should take precedence over anybody. If he can make 170 pounds, he should be able to get the fight he wants. You know, when we talk about all-time great, and some people say he might be the greatest mixed martial arts on or off the juice, all right? He might be the greatest because it's really no change. His performance, he's still undefeated. You know, he should be able to get the fight that he wants. But then again, you know, most people think he's scared of Francis. You know, I believe Derek Lewis' Francis already fought before, you know. But at the same time, you know, you make big fights. And that would be, you know, he would be getting 30% of the pot. If they do just $1 million, he'd be getting 30%. If they do 1.5 or 2 million, that percentage go all the way down to 15. But he said, I never discussed wanting 30 million with you or Hunter at Dana White. Just wondering where you heard that number. If someone speaking with you on my behalf, or, you know, he making it up. At the end of the day, if Ngannou don't want to fight, all Ngannou got to say, no, I just want the next mandatory challenger. Just say that. And I don't think that's the case, because he going to make more money with John Jones. And guess what? Derek Lewis is a risk. It's just as risky because he can punch. He been down with seconds to go knocking people out. So that's a risk. So do you want to take a high risk for low money or high risk for a lot of money? Obviously, you want to take the risk with more money. And Derek Lewis might be more dangerous than John Jones because he got that equalizer. You know? So I don't even think it's up to Francis. I just think Dana White just, in all honesty, he don't want to pay, you know, the fighters. Once John Jones get 30% of the pot or 15% of the pot, then somebody else. This is why you don't negotiate. You just throw a fake number out. You tell the commission, like, all right, we're going to just say he made 10 million. All right, but, you know, just keep it like that. That's all you got to do. Al Heyman in boxing high money all the time. Don't negotiate through the media. If he get 30, don't no other UFC fighter got to know. Or at least the public don't got to know. But he deserved a 30 ball for sure. You know, if that was Khabib or Conor McGregor, he'd go get the bag. But for Dana White, he don't want John Jones to be the face of the UFC. He don't want John Jones to get that money because then everybody else going to want a little bit more. And to be honest, he just need a direct competitor. But for the fans, who cares? I don't care less how much Ngannou or Derek Lewis or John Jones. Just make the damn fights. Winner got to fight Derek Lewis. I'm cool with that. Because this pay-per-view going to jump like a car battery for sure. Will. It's just too much of an enticing matchup. You got the young Francis Ngannou who beat Miocic, you know, who learned to pace himself, got the one-hit quitter. John Jones' weakness is striking. And they saying he working on the striking. Obviously, you bring Carissa Shields and Holly Holmes to your camp, you're going to work better at striking. That's a salivating matchup. But then again, guess what? It's two black people in there. And UFC fans, you know, predominantly are white. And that's, you know, for football and basketball for the most part. Basketball might have a black fan base, but make that money. You know, that rematch, if that fight is competitive, And if people want to see it again, the rematch might do $3 or $4 or $5 million. But Dana White don't want to have to set the precedent to pay nobody. Everybody let Conor get away with, getting a little bit of money in promotion because he Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor versus John Jones, skill for skill, accomplishment for accomplishment, Conor McGregor couldn't even hold John Jones' gym bag. But Conor McGregor is more charismatic. He worked the camera better. He popular. Remember, in combat sports, it's not all about hands. It's like the WWE. It's not all about combat. It's all about marketing and producing yourself. He can get away with saying the most racist. He can sit around saying the stupidest stuff, doing all this stuff because he got the complexion for the protection. One, John Jones is nowhere near as charismatic as Conor McGregor. He's no way promoting himself like Conor McGregor. So it ain't all about race, but he ain't nowhere on that level of, promoting. And that's not John Jones. But John Jones going to the street when they was rioting and taking spray cans from people. I think that's the most gangsters promotion you can get. But that didn't blow up the way it should have blew up. Him going out on the streets, making white kids go home, making white people, grown men go home and stop doing that. That's gangster. That's a real John Henry, type of stuff. And that's something that UFC should be talking about and blowing up into promotion. And blowing up big and using it in promotion. But it's a risk. But there's no risk on the UFC. People going to buy that. I think if they market it the right way, you're going to have some boxing fans buy it. It's just a scintillating. Most boxing fans say, well, I don't like the UFC. But you're getting what you want. I came over a few years ago. I don't mind. I still like the essence and the foundation of boxing, but what it's represent now is crap. And what Dana White represented in the UFC is what boxing used to. Used to have great promotion. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, Mitch Green fighting the street, Larry Holmes drop kicking somebody. I think he drop kicked off the car, Trevor Burbick. Roy Jones talking that shit and being something we never seen. We had Hector Camacho, Julio Cesar Chavez. We had great fighters, and the fighters that people don't remember: Terry Norris, Julian Jackson, Aaron Pryor, Gerald McClellan, Nigel Benn. We used to have excitement. Now boxing is just, we fight once, twice a year, you forget about somebody. Usman fight tonight, and he fought less than 90 days ago, a little bit more than 90 days ago. So Dana White, go ahead and just get John Jones with you. Even if $30 million, honestly, he lying, give it to him. You gonna get way more in advance. But they can't give it to him. See, Conor McGregor seemed like he's just so boastful. He's the greatest and he's the best. So I can see why Conor. So I'm not Conor, so I'm not gonna ask for it. But John deserved $30 million. And all realistic, he's the greatest of all time, on or off the juice. Weidman got off the juice allegedly, and he wasn't the same fighter. A lot of fighters get off that shit. John Jones is the same consistent fighter. Makes you want to think, was he set up? But it don't matter. If his chin don't translate and Ngannou, if his chin do translate and Ngannou land that shot, shit, that's what you waiting on. You got somebody that's a technician, can get you an awesome man, wrestle, and you got somebody that can knock you the fuck out that's improving. It ain't no way Adesanya moving up to 200. He just got whooped by old boy. He going back down. So that fight did. Why not? Why not pay John Jones if you think he gonna get knocked out and send him farewell? But you know what? John Jones do that. Beating Ngannou, he the greatest. And now you have another black face that's the greatest of a sport. Michael Jordan, Barry Sanders. We want to say Lawrence Taylor. Some people say Tom Brady. Not. Lawrence Taylor is probably the greatest. Him, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders. Some people say Deion, but I think those three is the greatest, athletes of all time, football players of all time. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, whoever you want to say best in boxing, and now John Jones to face. But we already know Ronda Rousey wasn't nothing. And then again, if Ngannou knock out John Jones, he turned around and beat Derek Lewis, and he fight John Jones or Stipe Miocic again. He'd be the greatest heavyweight of all time. They were saying Miocic was. And Ngannou do all that. He might be the greatest MMA fighter, UFC fighter of all time. So it's a damn if you do that. Derek Lewis might knock out Ngannou, come back, knock out John Jones. Maybe it might go down as the greatest. The sport is so in a premature state still. That anything could happen. Somebody can come back behind and do the same, do more. But I believe John Jones. I just think Dana White just don't want to have John Jones on that pedestal, and he win, and then you at his mercy, and you pay him all this money, People won't say, oh, it's just Conor, it's just John. No, John don't market himself like this. I want money like John. I want 30 million. I want 15, 30%. I just think he don't want the gates to overflood. So let me know what you guys think. Hope the fight still happen. But they talking Derek Lewis. Check out the MMA playlist. Don't forget we on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook group, link in the description. All links in the description. Need to advertise your business on the channel, video requests, just chop it up. Hit me up there. Want to make a donation? Cash up CJ Gig 313 in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Check out our Detroit channel right here on YouTube, Mercy Sports Talk. Right here on YouTube. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know in the comment section. Peace.